The Shay and Wilson Show.
It's based off our name.
Well, I was just going to talk about the PS4. What we know about the PS4, you know, so far. See what we think of it. Personally, I mean, you know, we're in the PC Master Race, so whether or not I even care about the PS4, I don't know. There are those of you who I believe will want the PS4, and I'm going to talk about it for you. So first up, let's just talk tech specs. It has 8 gig of RAM.
Okay, this is the one thing I want to talk about. Mm-hmm. I have that PDF that Sony released listing the specs, and they say, you know, it has a custom GPU and a custom CPU. The CPU being an 8-core AMD, which is actually what I have in my computer, is an 8-core AMD. But this one's like called Jaguar. I guess it's like a custom one specifically for them. Mm-hmm. I don't know what this means for them going forward. If they're changing, since they're obviously changing from the cell architecture they had with the PS3. I don't know what this means about backwards compatibility. Maybe it's the end of backwards compatibility.
I've got the information, Shay. Don't you even worry.
Oh, it's on there? All right, word. And then the other thing is the RAM that they listed. It says it has 8 gigabytes of GDDR5. Now, for those of you who are the initiated, you obviously, you know, you probably perked up and wait, GDDR5, that's what you have in our graphics cards. That's not fucking actual RAM. You know, that's not system memory. So I'm wondering if they just forgot to list actual system memory, or if it's some kind of pool and they're going to be using video memory for...
They did say something about that, actually.
Because on the PS3, they had a similar kind of thing where they had a pool of RAM. It was like 512 gigabytes. And they cut it in half into VRAM and system RAM, so you had 256.
Dear Lord, really? Just as like a comparison, I have 64 RAM in my computer, and I can't even use 32 of it. Like, it's just there. It's just waiting.
I don't think I have 8 gigabytes of, you know, DDR3. And then, of course, you know, both of our graphics cards, or you have 2 graphics cards actually, but all of our graphics cards have GDDR5 already, so it's nothing new. I don't know what this means. Do you actually have anything listed there about like what they're going to do with the memory? Like, as far as...
I do not, but I could probably find it.
Maybe they'll
really look into it.
Somebody more informed than us who has more insider information will probably find out.
If we find anything out, I'll post it up in a text box on the video.
Yeah, that's the one thing that...
Gee, way to make us look uninformed, Shay. I have all these dot points, and now I feel like I didn't do enough work.
No, I mean, we're uninformed because they're not fucking telling us. Like, there's...
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean,
but I did read a line about something about, you know, pooling resources, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that really fucked them up last gen.
Yeah.
Because with the Xbox, he had 512 RAM, and then the developer could split that up however they want to, utilize it however they want to between, you know, using it as VRAM or system RAM. Uh-huh. And then with the PS3, you're forced 256, and it fucked developers up really hard on that, except for first-party titles. It's interesting. I mean, I'm not in the console game anymore because now I have a PC and I like being in control of my own fucking life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'll probably read up on it at some point and laugh at everyone's misfortune.
Yeah. Well, here's what we do know. Mainly, it's all to do with features, that sort of thing. I mean, you covered it. The GPU and CPU. GPU's AMD as well. It says it's a next-gen Radeon-based graphics engine, so that means they don't know exactly what it is yet, I imagine. Or they haven't
I wonder
told.
What they mean by next-gen, though. Does next-gen mean that, like, it's DirectX 11, which would make it just current-gen and not next-gen?
Yeah, who knows?
It's probably next-gen compared to last-gen as far as consoles.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, I mean, looking at it from a master race perspective, you know, PC master race, this is basically nothing special specs-wise.
No, not at all.
In fact, it's pretty underwhelming in a lot of ways.
1.84 teraflops on the GPU, they claim. Which, what does that mean to you?
Teraflops don't matter to consumers. That's all for the developers to deal with. Like, basically, it's bullshit jargon.
All right. So what it does feature-wise, apparently you can power up the system and like resume games. So kind of like I guess you could do with the Vita and that sort of thing, where you can like quick turn it off without actually shutting the system down, and then you can turn it back on and resume from wherever you were.
Dude, I would hate if I did that. Like I had my game on standby and like the power went out or something while I was
Oh,
gone.
exactly. Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck.
Yeah. Okay, so there's that. That's a feature. The controller apparently features a share button. And this is kind of interesting, I guess. A share button that lets players post gameplay video footage in chunks, at least, onto social networks. So you can like put videos of stuff you're doing up on Facebook. Or I'd imagine Facebook. I mean, social networks, whatever.
I think you can actually stream live with it too, as well.
Yeah, you can. Live broadcast via Sony's partnership with Ustream. So that's, probably not as good as it sounds, I mean,
actually, what if this does work well? This share button will actually be really good for. It'll make console gaming a lot more like PC gaming, whereas in the sense that you have the freedom to do Let's Plays and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that element was always missing from like consoles. Like people who had expensive like HDMI boxes or whatever could do that shit.
Yeah.
But like the average consumer couldn't.
That being said, I mean, you yourself, who have a good PC, said that, doing BioShock Infinite and running Fraps at the same time was, causing you some frame rate issues, So I'm thinking it can't be that great. It's going to have to be dumbing down the graphic quality or something in a finished product of those videos.
Yeah, I mean, even if it does, though, it achieves the goal that those people want, where it's like, look at my headshots on Call of Duty, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I guess. So we're going to expect a flood of those videos, internet.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than people, like, taking a video camera to their TV screen like a fucking retard.
But, I mean, they've been finding workarounds. I know that there's people who do 360 ones. They got those special boxes, the HDMI box thing that records. But
yeah,
this is a cost saver method for everyone to use.
Yeah, I think overall the share button is a very cool idea, and it's it's one thing that puts consoles it opens them up a lot more to match the flexibility of the PC format.
Yeah, well, they're doing a lot of the stuff they're doing is to do with social network integration and things like that.
Right.
And apparently there's a feature where you can let your friends take control of your game or place items in the world to assist you. My understanding is via, the internet, not like, oh, hey, man, you're right next to me, take control of my controller. But you can actually have people bail you out of tough parts of games, which I think is a stupid gimmick, personally. Like,
I mean, just because it's a feature doesn't mean it's going to be utilized by every developer.
And that's another point which I'll get to. But yeah, I mean, these are things that I don't know. I just don't see the point in.
I mean, okay, user friendliness is important, even though it doesn't apply to us, like, because we're hardcore consumers, basically.
Yeah.
But for the casuals, like, they have, the Wii has been doing this for a long time now, where like it can hand hold you when you need hand holding.
Yeah.
Which, I have a little sister and she uses that feature a lot sometimes.
But I mean, to actually allow, like, say we're both playing on a PS3 and we're your friends, and I'm stuck on a bit, and I say, yo, dude, do this for me. And you basically hijack my system and do that. Like, first off, I see a hell of a lot of trolling opportunities, given that you can control someone else's character. And I'd be like, you'd think people are just going to run each other off cliffs and that sort of thing. So there might be safeguards for that kind of behavior. I don't know. But it just seems to be that.
Elder Scrolls on PS4, like, I'll be fucking everyone over. Can you help me get past this one troll? I'll be like, oh, sure. I need to go, and you fill their inventory with nothing but brooms or something.
Yeah, so first off, I'd imagine all these features are going to take a hefty internet connection, for one, because, I don't know, hijacking someone else's system and playing their game via the internet sounds to me like it would take a fair bit of bandwidth up.
You know how it could work, though, is instead of it would probably be easier for them to not do it live. They probably just let you transfer save files back and forth.
That's possible, yeah.
And then you just control the character, save, and send it back, I guess.
Yeah, that could work. Strange, though. Okay, but enough of that topic. We'll go on to they can also help you in the form of messages on your screen. Big whoop.
Yeah. Why is that even like a list worthy?
It's a thing they said. Okay. Now, there's no backward compatibility. Straight up.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Nothing before. The system is different enough and the architecture and all that sort of stuff that it does not play old PlayStation games.
Which is okay. I never understood, even when I was a console user, I never understood the backwards compatibility argument.
Really?
People would say, yeah, for example, yeah, like, I mean, so are you more like, for you, is backwards compat like a deal breaker?
Not a deal breaker. I mean, if you're gonna get the system, you're gonna get the system. But I certainly like the feature.
Yeah, it's a feature that people like, but without it, I don't feel like it's a detriment from the system itself, and I don't think it should ever count against it in someone's eyes. Like a lot of people, like, man, I'm not buying the PS3 because it doesn't play PS2 anymore. I was like, well, then fucking get a PS2 for $5. But I don't want to have two consoles on my desk. It takes up space, and like, it's just bitch ass excuses to hate on something, you know?
It's true.
The thing with console gamers, and this is going to go way off topic, but we have to do this, Wilson. Console gamers, you are a bunch of whiny ass bitches who just want to hate on each other so bad. You don't even realize that there's a world better than what you know out there. That's waiting to just take you into its arms lovingly.
Lovingly, very lovingly. I like my horizons have broadened so much since I went to PC.
Yeah, but you're just so busy.
I really
like,
went to PC.
What it comes down to is like whatever you spent money on, you want it to be the best, and you want to tell everyone else that they spent money on the wrong brand. It's like girls arguing over like tampons or Tampax or whatever the fuck they put in their
whatever
vaginas.
it is that the women use.
Whatever they use for their menstrual stuff. Sorry. What was that girl's name? Impulsive Behavior 01.
We're sorry. We're really sorry.
I hope she comments on every video from now on.
I would like that. We need that.
We need a regular hater. Like someone just be like, you guys are sexist as hell.
One of you guys step up. Like seriously. And not someone who already knows us because, fuck you guys. But thank you for the shares and all the help you've given us. But
anyway, yeah, back on topic.
Back on topic. Yeah, sorry about that. So we went no backward compatibility, but apparently now it could eventually be possible via the cloud. The cloud that everyone's always talking about,
What about the cloud?
Backward compatibility could eventually be a possibility.
Oh, right. They were actually talking about this for a couple of years now. There were some, I don't know if it was information leaks from Sony or insider information, but people thought this was being developed for PS3 actually. And it never came out, during the time I had a PS3, which is up through the release of Final Fantasy 13. Yeah. And I guess what it was just, they were getting it in the works for the next system, I guess.
Well, apparently even on the next system, it's a goal and not a given. So it's not something that is absolutely set in stone.
So I guess what you would be doing is it would be cloud gaming where like you're playing it on hardware that's somewhere else through the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd imagine so. Yeah, because and apparently this is on any device. They're saying.
Right. Which is awesome, but I can imagine there's going to be some sort of subscription cost involved.
Oh, I'd imagine.
To sustain that.
PS4 titles on Vita via Wi-Fi between them. Which I'd personally rather be playing my Vita games on the PS4 and seeing them on a bigger screen.
You can't do that though, can you?
I not that I'm aware of yet, but people talk about how the Vita has a jack that has like no use at the moment.
Well, I know that like with the previous PSP and the PS3, you could do that already just using Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, I have a Sony TV and the Vita. You would think that they should be able to communicate with each other, and I could be playing Persona 4 on that.
Yeah, there's actually a big stink, throughout this generation about how Sony was very departmentalized. When you buy Apple products, when you buy an Apple product, you know that every Apple product you own will communicate with every other Apple product you own. Like it's just a given. Mm-hmm. Sony needs to start doing that as a brand. I think that's what they're doing now. Yeah. I think that's an awesome thing. I mean, even if I'm not playing their console, like for anything else I own that's Sony, that'd be really cool to have interconnectivity.
So that's a thing. They're going to be doing targeted ads and stuff like that on your homepage. Based on other stuff, yeah. I don't like that.
Isn't it great, guys? Isn't it great to pay like $600 for a console just to have the people like advertise to you anyway?
Yeah, exactly. Facebook integration, obviously. I mean, that was, everyone knew that was going to happen. But it can update on the trophies and crap that people are getting and whatever.
Yeah, that's actually from PS3 as well.
Yeah, I figured it wasn't anything new. Background downloading. Playing games before they're fully downloaded.
Oh, like Blizzard does.
Yeah, and while the system's shut down, you could still be downloading.
Word.
which isn't new, I don't believe. Now, here's the kicker. The CEO, Mr. Jack Tretton, says that the company isn't pounding the floor and saying the day this thing ships, all this stuff will be there. So basically, none of this is actually for certain. These are just things that they're talking about being in the system at least some point.
Yeah, I mean, integration features will always be coming over time.
Yeah,
as long as as long as the base hardware is there and the launch stuff there, the launch content is good, then whatever, they're gravy.
Yeah. Now, do you think the 360 is going to step up and match that, or do you? I mean, obviously we don't care that much, but
obviously I don't give a shit. I don't care which one's more powerful and which one's slightly less powerful. They're all going to come out with games that look pretty.
Yeah.
Games that drive the industry forward, games that people talk about. They're all going to have their own exclusives that are going to be cool, and they're all going to have multi-platform games that will be better on one system than the other, and vice versa. Sometimes it's going to be the exact same game as this generation already.
Nothing's going to change. But from what I can tell, there's going to be more competitors in this gen. Steam's doing one.
See, okay, every generation there's always like all these like
little side guys.
There's all these like sixth party consoles.
Yeah.
With like mock-ups and stuff. They never happen.
Yeah.
Steambox actually does sound like a legit thing that could happen because it's Valve.
Mm-hmm.
But they have laid off a lot of staff that was on that project, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was reading about it in the same group that I read this stuff about. Well, personally, I'll probably buy one of the two.
Really?
Mainly for exclusives, like things like on the 360, I have Catherine. And, if I was solely on PC, I wouldn't have got to play that. And I'd imagine that when Persona 5 comes out, which I will definitely want to get on board, I'll get whatever system has that if it's an exclusive. But I do want to play those games. And if I can't play them on PC, I'm going to have to get at least one of the systems. So it's going to come down to me solely based on the whatchamacallits.
Yeah, that's a good point because
the words eluded me here.
Yeah, Japanese developers aren't very well known for PC porting that much.
No.
Konami. They never fucking port anything. I want Konami to port more fucking stuff. However, it feels like a really dick thing to have to buy like a $600 adapter for your Japanese games. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Because literally, since I got my PC, up to a decent piece of hardware and all that, I've hardly touched my 360.
Because there's no need to anymore, but you have to for certain things. Like if you want to play God of War 3, you got to get on a PS3, and you're not be happy anyway, probably, because you know it could be better.
Exactly, yeah. So
if they only had a PC port, it could be 6,000 times better, but whatever.
Yeah. It's really, it comes down to what you said. You're paying $600 or whatever dollars for a system just to run your Japanese stuff. Just to run your whatever RPGs you're addicted to that you can't go without, kind of thing. But Persona is one of those for me because I bought the Vita for the sole purpose of getting Persona 4 Golden.
Word.
Which is actually my next topic. So we can probably make that a new video.